welcome to this week's episode of the Fantasy Golf Sommelier for the Genesis Invitational. 2 weeks in a row that you get some FGS, and I'm excited to be here. Okay, we got another fantastic field and an elevated event. Elevate, elevate with you and me. Elevate, elevate with you and me while we drink some wine. Okay, don't know where that song came from. I made it up, but I cannot wait to get into some of the plays that I like this week. Talk a little wine. You know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about stemware. Yep, glasses, stemware. I know that's exciting, but we had a comment in last week's FGS that kind of triggered something for me. It's like, you know what? We talk about wine all the time and things that, good wines for this, for food, good wines that pair with, whatever. All right. But we never talk about actually the glassware that wine goes in. But first, let's talk about some of the plays of the week. All right. We're going to get into the $10 wine special. We're going to get into the Boone's Farm fade of the week. And then we're going to top it all off with the Pop the Cork play, which I cannot wait to get to. Okay. But first, what wine are we talking about? All right. What wine are we talking about? Well, guess what? We're back with some Bordeaux again this week. I had it last week, and I got another one this week. This one's really good. Chateau Auguste, whatever, 2016 Bordeaux. It's fantastic. It's on the right bank. Okay, so you have two banks over in Bordeaux. You got the left, you got the right. Okay, it's like a tributary that comes down. It's a port city. You got one side. This side, the right bank, has some good wine. All right, this one's a little bit of a blend. Okay, you got 80% Merlot. You got about 20% Cabernet, and then you got about 10% Cabernet Franc. Okay, so that's what we got. This is a good one. All right, we'll talk in a little bit about what I'm tasting here. All right, so let's start with the $10 wine special, and for me this week it's Adam Hadwin. Adam Hadwin's not very exciting. Okay, he's cheap this week when it comes to DraftKings at $7,500. I don't want to go like. You can't get too cheap this week, okay, in this elevated field. There's a lot of great players, all right? We don't want to get too cute. But I think Adam Hadwin is a great play. And you know what? If you're playing cash lineups, throw Adam Hadwin in there. This guy just finishes in the top 25 all the time, it seems like, okay? He may not win. I don't care. All I want him to do is make the cut and just kind of, be a little bit above your value here at 7,500. I love the number on a top 20 for him also at plus 400. I think that's great. All right. So two things right there. I think you can play Adam Hadwin in cash, and I love the top 20 number at plus 400. And who knows? Maybe he ends up surprising us and he finishes second or third like Nick Taylor did last week. Here's something about Adam Hadwin, by the way. Okay. When we're talking about wine glasses, and what you got to use. Adam Hadwin's wife really annoys me. And I feel like if she's showing up at a party and she's got a wine glass with her, it's going to be one of these damn things. All right. It's going to be one of these stupid things. All right. It's like, hey, now I know it's got a Masters logo on it or whatever, so that people think that's cool, but this thing is dumb. It's got a top to it. All right. Nobody. You show up in this thing, and I just I can't take you seriously, okay? Because it's probably not even a green color like this. It's like a yellow or like a light purple or something. I don't know. Like it's just you might as well just be drinking some damn I don't know, some kind of crap ass wine in there if that's what you're going to be drinking, showing up in that kind of wine glass at the party. All right, that's enough about Adam Hadwin and his lovely wife, I assume, that's very annoying, okay? But let's talk a little bit more about stemware, all right? It's important to know these things, all right? if you're gonna, it's Valentine's Day right now, okay? You're taking that significant other out. You want to impress her a little bit. You need to be using the right glasses for the wine that you're pouring. All right. So let's talk a little bit about that. How about red wine, which I'm drinking right now? Red wine needs a little more aeration. Okay. You got to get that thing, you got to get some air in there. All right. That's why you see a bigger, rounder glass, just that like it needs to have air that can filter in through the top. All right. You want that air to interact with the wine. Just let it blossom. You need the air to let it do that. Okay. White wines don't really need that. They don't need as much aeration. So you don't need such a big glass for it. Okay. So for white wine, we're going to use a little bit smaller, skinnier glass. All right. Here's another thing though with white wine. You might want a little bit longer stem. Okay. Because white wine is affected a little bit more by the temperature. All right. It's just radiating from your hands, your big old fat hands. It's just radiating from it. So you want a little bit more distance between your hands, all right, for a white wine, all right? Doesn't necessarily need as much with the red wine. You still need a little bit. You need a little bit of stem there, okay? But maybe just a little bit more for the white wine, because the red wine doesn't need that, okay? Here's another thing, all right? There's a lot of different glasses that we see these days, all right? There's a lot of people that like stemless, okay? This is a nice stemless glass. It really doesn't do anything for your wine, but you can use it. If you want to use a stemless glass, it's fine. I find them to be quite useful. I don't think it's going to make a wine taste better or worse, really. I mean, yes, your fingers are all up on that glass, and they're probably affecting the taste all that much. So if you really want to act like you know something, probably don't want to use one of these, but they're very practical. Okay. I'm going to damn spill a wine glass on it. Especially like this and a longer stem, maybe it's going to get broke. I'm going to break this glass eventually. Okay. This one's a little bit harder to break. So that's good. That's practical. And here's another thing. You could use something like this. Now, if you use a wine glass like this, all it says is one thing. I'm here to get drunk, and I really don't care what happens. This is a plastic wine glass. I'm going to fill it entirely to the top. Things are going to be flowing over it. I'm going to be splashing it all around while I'm drinking it, and I'm going to be hammered. So if you show up with one of these things, just expect that everybody knows you're going to get hammered. Okay? It's not very classy, but you know what? I'm not going to blame you. I drink out of those things all the time. All right, moving on. That's enough about stemware for now, but let's talk about the Boone's Farm Fade of the Week. And for me, I'm going to go with Patrick Cantlay. Okay, listen, folks. I know Patrick Cantlay is a fantastic offer. I get it, all right? I think the price is actually okay for Patrick Cantlay this week at $9,000 on DraftKings. The problem I have is in a field like this, I just don't see this guy returning a whole lot of value here and winning or doing anything all that exciting. Here's what's going to happen. 34th place finish. That's what you're getting. 34th. I'm calling it right now. Are you excited about that, paying $9,000 for a guy? I'm not. I mean, he's not doing anything really that well right now. I mean, he's Patrick Cantlay. I mean, he does a lot of things okay, but he really needs to be doing them great, and he's not doing all that, okay? So I think that Patrick Cantlay is a fade this week. And, his history here is it's okay. I don't know. He's not really threatening to win it. So Patrick Cantlay is going to be the fade this week, the Boone's Farm fade of the week. All right. Another little sip out of my wine glass here. All right, let's talk about the Pop the Cork play of the week. This is my favorite play. This is a guy that sometimes I talk about a guy I haven't really looked at early in the week. Well, Sam Burns is somebody I've looked at. I've been about Sam Burns all week. I love him, and I still love him. So I'm popping the cork. I'm letting it breathe, and it's just going to breathe all over me, okay? Because I love Sam Burns. I love Sam Burns. He's 30-1 if you want to take him as an outright. He's 9,100 on DraftKings. You know what? you're really loving some Patrick Cantlay, I told you to fade him. Bump it up. Spend $100 more. Get you some Sam Burns. This is a guy that almost won this golf tournament a couple years ago, and Max Homa won. And I love Max Homa, but damn it, I wanted Sam Burns to win that year. He was a little bit longer as far as the odds were concerned. He came into the final round leading the golf tournament, was right there, and just missed the playoff, I think, by one stroke. And then Max Homa won. I love Max Homa, but I really wanted Sam Burns to win that year, and he didn't. He's got a little bit of a mixed history here. He missed the cut the following year. Whatever. I think Sam Burns is playing fantastic. He looked great at the waste management. I think he shot the round of the day on Saturday. I think it was maybe a 64 on Saturday of the waste management. I just love how he's playing. He's a fantastic putter, which you've got to do on these greens. So Sam Burns at 9,100, that is the pop the core play. Here's another thing, by the way. His ownership has been under 10% the last 2 weeks when he's been playing great. So for a GPP, a tournament play on DraftKings or wherever you're playing some DFS, if you're getting low ownership on Sam Burns, I absolutely love it. I think you slam it, play it, whatever. Bet him 30 to 1. All right. What else do I got? I think that's it. So we talked about stemware. We talked about my plays of the week. We talked about Adam Hadwin's wife who loves a glass like this, which is not really a glass. It's just a crappy thing that's annoying. I can't even, where am I going to put it? So anyway, I guess that's all I got. I'm going to finish my glass of wine. See you next time, folks.